These are the biggest mistakes in Marvel Strike Force. I have made all of these mistakes. Maybe you have made them along the way. Maybe you've learned better. Maybe you had good instincts when you first started playing Marvel Strike Force and never made any of these mistakes because your brain was in tune with how these hero collector games work. Well, in this video, I'm talking about the biggest mistakes that I have made, and hopefully you are not making them right now because yes, we're gonna get right into the game. All right, so biggest mistake that I want to talk about, maybe not the biggest, but one big thing that I did that I regret was focusing on too many teams at once or too many characters at once. After playing this game and building certain characters, I find that about 3 characters to work on is kind of the sweet spot. It gives you enough energy that you can farm different shards, farm different gear, farm different pieces of ISO 8, and you're not spreading yourself too thin because at the end of the day, like all hero collectors, Marvel Strike Force is a game of resource management, and it's designed to give you bottlenecks in different areas. Now, I know some people will have bottlenecks in gold, some people will have bottlenecks in training mats, some people have bottlenecks of gear, some people have bottlenecks in these promo credits. You're gonna have a bottleneck where, unless you're spending a ton of money to eliminate these bottlenecks, the game is designed for you to have these bottlenecks. So you need to know where to use these resources. They come in short supply and limited supply. So I would focus on building teams to whatever you need for based on whatever content you're at. So if you're in arena right now and you're trying to get up to the top 100 in arena because that's a very important game mode for you, you're gonna focus on your team that's gonna get you higher in arena. So right now the big meta is Infinity Watch. If your arena rank is not where it needs to be, if you follow yourself dropping too far on defense, well, I would put all the resources into those arena teams. Let's say an area that you're struggling with that you really want to solve is in the raids. Let's say that you want to get further along in the raids. Well, and for my particular case, I'm in this far left lane of Doom 2, which means the first team that I need is a good symbiote team, which means that if I go and work on this team in this last section here for these mutants, I'm not really gaining anything in the raids because I'm not getting past this tech section anyway. So focus on things that's going to give you an immediate benefit, not so much long-term unless we're planning for legendaries and things like that. But immediate benefit is what I would focus on as far as your build. So right now, where an area I'm struggling with is the skill. So if I was not working on the Weapon X team, skill would be a team that I'm building because this node is kind of hard with all those silver surface and stuff that drop. But that would be my recommendation. And I think 3 characters is pretty decent again. And if you can focus on characters that have different ISO 8 classes and different gear requirements and are at different places, that way you could farm different things for these characters on a daily basis. But 3 to 5 characters, if you really want to push it, you could build a full team. But after you build up a team, then I would focus on to the next thing. So if your problem is arena, build up your Infinity Watch. Once your Infinity Watch is set to the level you want, move on to the next team. Forget about Infinity Watch for a little while unless they start falling behind and are costing you matches in the arena. So that's what I would do. 3 to 5 characters, focus on building them, then move on. And it's not building up to a certain level. Like previously, it was building up to level 60 and gear tier 12, things like that. Now it's really there's players that are new players, mid-game players, end-game players at all different levels. I think that one piece of advice I would give to all players is it's going to be based on the content that you want. So if you're trying to clear certain content in arena and you're not able to do that, build that team until you're able to clear that content and then stop with your resources. Same thing for the raids, same thing for some pesky war teams that you may be facing. Yes, so just focus with your farming and your gear. All right, next thing is about an alliance. Joining a bad alliance is a very, very big mistake. Now, what do I mean by bad alliance? Not necessarily a casual alliance, because you may be a casual player and joining a casual alliance is going to be the most beneficial alliance for you. On the flip side, if you're a hardcore player, you should not be joining a casual alliance. And flip-flop that as well. If you're a casual player, don't be joining a hardcore alliance because you want to be in an alliance that really supports you, has that same level of interest, and can really and if you want to push, they're going to be pushing with you. And the two main modes that you're going to want to have an alliance that matches your level of interest is in raids. You're going to want to find an alliance that matches your level of interest in raids. If you're someone that needs all these resources and wants to do these raids every single day and wants to push to the hardest possible raid, you need to find an alliance that matches with your goals. And if you're someone that's a little more casual, maybe you just want to log in every other day or something like that, you're going to find an alliance that's okay with that. So finding a good alliance is very important. So don't make the mistake of joining a bad alliance. And bad alliance could, like I said, could be defined many different ways. It's going to be different for every player, but finding a basic bad alliance is an alliance that doesn't have the same goals as you, doesn't have the same interest level as you, and is not going to put in the same amount of time as you're wanting to invest in Marvel Strike Force. And the next big mistake that you should not be making in Marvel Strike Force is prioritizing teams that don't really benefit you. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I prioritize different game modes ahead of other game modes. So for me, it's been Arena, Raid, then War, then after that, it doesn't really matter. You may have a difference of opinion, but start to prioritize the teams that's gonna go in the order that you prioritize these teams based on your level of enjoyment and based on your need for some of the resources in game. So the way I do it, as far as the rewards, Arena rewards, you're getting cores, you're getting arena credits. Both are very, very valuable. But because cores can benefit you in every single game mode, that is why I prioritize arena teams very, very high. So for me, right now, Infinity Watch is the main arena team. So if I was prioritizing teams and my Infinity Watch was not built up, Arena comes first. Once I'm done with my arena teams and my arena defense is holding pretty good, my arena offense can beat whatever on defense, I'm going to move on to my raid teams. Now, the reason you want raid teams, you're going to get a lot of benefit, a lot of good resources in the raids. And I think a raids is a little more valuable, actually a lot more valuable than War, because you're getting just different teal gear. You're getting ISO 8 blue in some of these higher level raids. You're getting gear, gold, raid credits, and of course you got your season ranking rewards for those important silver surfer shards. So yeah, you're gonna want to prioritize raids. Now, there's some people that like War, and I think War is a fun mode, and if you enjoy War, and that is a very fun mode for you, even if it doesn't have the best resources, if that's a fun mode for you, that is what you should prioritize. So this is the order that I prioritize these things in. You may find a different order, but I go Arena, Raid, and War. So once my Arena team is set, that is when I start building Raid teams. Only once I have my Raid team set and I can complete the content that my alliance wants to complete, that is when I'll focus on War offense teams, and then I'll focus on War defense teams. Your order might be different, but you should know your order. You should have reasoning and logic behind it, and that is how you should build your teams based on these modes. So prioritize these teams in whatever order you want. But for me, and I think for a lot of players, it's going to go Arena, then Raids, then War. All right, randomly farming is one thing I've done before. So sometimes I would go into these early on in the game. I would go to these campaign notes. Oh, I got to use a hero. Let me go to hero and just, all right, let me just pick that. Then I would go to villains and pick those, and that would be my daily requirements. But not really focusing on specific pieces of gear. So one gear piece that I'm missing a lot is this right here, these health catalysts, superior basic catalyst parts. So whenever I have extra energy, I'm coming in here and I'm farming all these pieces for these health catalyst parts. So that is one thing that I'm farming on a daily basis. I know that is something that I'm farming. I'm not just randomly going to a node and farming that and hoping that I get specific gear. So farm your specific gear. You're going to farm specific ISO 8 classes as well. The two characters that I'm working on right now, Lady Deathstrike, she is a brawler, which means she takes different ISO 8 than other classes. And we also have the Silver Samurai that I'm working on, is a protector, so she's going to take that protector ISO 8. So I got a bunch of different characters, or I at least have two classes of characters that I'm farming ISO 8 on, one specific piece of gear. And then another thing is just instead of focusing on what you need for your characters, focusing on buying everything. So for example, this SO2 serum, one of the mini uniques, very, very hard to get. If you have the resources, I would buy all of these mini uniques that pop up, but not all of us have all these resources. So I would just focus on the ones that you need for characters that you're working on. So titanium alloy, if I was focusing on Doc Ock, Red Guardian or Sharon Carter, this would be something that I would be highly coveted for me. Right now, my resources aren't that scarce, so I can focus on buying all this stuff. But as it starts going down, I'm going to have to be very selective with what I get, and also focus on specific characters that I want to take into Dark Dimension 5. So that is another thing. Don't just buy everything because it's rare. Focus on what you need, at least for the short term. For me, I like to focus on the short and mid term because Scopely changes plans a lot. We don't know what the planning should be for the long term. And last but not least, this is probably one of the more important things. Do all of your dailies. This is another mistake that I've made in the past, just getting busy with life. But if you have the time to log in every day, you're gonna get a lot of your great rewards from these, especially with the Strike Pass. You're getting all kinds of things from your dailies, and this game is a marathon. I know this one does seem a little obvious, but I do want to stress the importance of it because a lot of your resources, you're getting a little bit of it every single day. So making sure that you're getting a steady influx of your resources on a daily basis is going to give you the resources that you want to eventually build up your roster, eventually build up all your characters. And yes, so logging in every day, playing every day is going to be the most beneficial for you, obviously. Sometimes life is going to get in the way and you can't do that, so you shouldn't. But if you have the time and you want to build up your roster, logging in every day, collecting all your stuff, and doing all your daily objectives and helping your raid alliance out in the raids. If you're an alliance that's doing these raids every single day, which you should if you're wanting to build up your roster. And I guess the last, but and probably the most important that I think even myself forgets at the time is having fun. You know, I know it's very easy to criticize Scopely on some of their bonehead decisions, and they make it very easy for us, especially with all those bugs. But at the end of the day, this is a game, should be having fun. And I think, at least for myself, I lose sight of that sometimes. So I don't want you guys to lose sight of that. This game should be fun. Hopefully you have fun, and hopefully you have a great rest of your day. If this video was valuable for you, whether you're a new player or a mid-game player, I think a lot of the advice in this video is pretty obvious for longer time players. But if this video did help you, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know as soon as a new video is uploaded, and hit that like button if you like this video because it does help the algorithm. I will see you guys next time. Thank you for joining me. Give me that Hulk fist button before you go, and hopefully I'll see you in the live stream tomorrow on Twitch, guys. ValleyFlyin out.